Hey everybody, I'm Asian Funk. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm joined by Renae Jacobs, the original voice actress for April O'Neil, the Channel 6 news reporter from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon show. She voiced that character from 1987 to 1996 in over 190 episodes. Renae, thanks for being here.
It's my pleasure. How are you?
I'm good. How many of these Zoom interviews have you done so far?
Quite a few, actually. You know, this is the only way that people are actually able to connect with me these days. All the Comic-Cons got canceled. And so a lot of what I'm doing this year so far is Zoom calls, Cameo, which is a very interesting little thing where people can go on Cameo and then they request that I do a recording for them, and they can write their own script, or they can ask me to do something. And the other thing is something called VShout, www.vshout.com, and a lot of famous people are on it, and you click on it, you pay for it, and then you get a photograph and a personal message from whoever that is. So with all the Comic-Cons being down, this is the only way that people can kind of get a little bit of happiness in the Comic-Con comic, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. What was the last convention you were at?
The last convention I was at was...
I know it's been a while. Like March.
You know, it's hard to remember anything from March on, you know. It's just all seems like we've been home. But I was doing so many of them. I don't remember exactly what the last one was, because honestly, I think like the whole world stopped, and March just, you know, who remembers anything from before March?
Right. People want to try and forget about March.
March and April and May, even now, you know, like let's get 2020 over.
No kidding.
Move on, right?
Yep, I'm ready.
So hopefully, you know, I've gotten contacted by a lot of Comic-Cons, but it's all tentative. There's no contract, because nobody knows if we'll be able to get together, and it's got to disappear, or, you know, what are we going to do with Comic-Cons? You're hugging people, you're taking pictures with people, you're shaking hands with people. I mean, how do you greet somebody behind plexiglass? You know, it's not as fun. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that's probably why these, you know, virtual interviews have become such a thing, is because you don't have to risk your health to still stay connected with, you know, characters that they love.
Exactly.
But so you normally do a lot of conventions annually.
I usually do six to 8 a year, you know, maybe once a month or so. Sometimes, you know. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. And sometimes they're small and sometimes they're big. Last year I was in East Lansing, Michigan for this really sweet Turtles Comic-Con. It was so much fun. Nicest people, very small, but really successful and really nice. Alex Westcott ran it. It was great. I enjoyed it. And I'm from East Lansing, Michigan, so I really wanted to go and do that one. So I could go home.
That's right. You got to represent.
Yes, it was fun.
So it was sort of like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles dedicated convention.
Yes.
Yes.
I was the only one from the animated show, because the guys were doing Motown like 6 weeks later. And then there were some from the movies.
Okay.
The movies.
When was the last time you've seen the rest of the cast?
The cast?
Yeah. Or I guess the last time you guys were all together.
The last time we were all together. Again, everything before March is gone. But we were in Tennessee and we did Fanboy together, which was super fun. What a nice city and a nice group of people. Just lovely. We always get together and do some kind of holiday singing at Christmas time. We did.
That's so nice.
I'm Dreaming of a Green Christmas. That's up on all our websites. And
I love it.
We've done things for Thanksgiving. We commemorated Kermit's birthday by singing It's Not Easy Being Green. So we get together here in LA and do that. And we were scheduled to do a number of Comic-Cons together this year, and
yeah, it's just, you know, you can't guarantee anything for this year anyway.
No, you can't. I think we're going to do a virtual signing with all of us.
That's fun.
Coming up in the fall sometime soon. Because people want that.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody's trying to stay healthy and
safe and
yeah.
How does that make you feel that, you know, all this time there are still fans of your voice and April?
It's wonderful. I appreciate it so much, that I was able to be part of something that was so important and still is so important to so many people. None of us had any idea. I mean, we knew the impact when we were recording as the series went on. Every kid had a Ninja Turtle hat, Ninja Turtle shoes, socks, you name it, they were dressed. Even at Disneyland, everybody was in Ninja Turtle gear. And, you know, so we knew that it was very popular, but we didn't know the impact that it truly had. We were just having fun. But, you know, as we've now been part of the Comic-Con world and get to start to meet people, we hear these stories. You know, if not for the Ninja Turtles, I don't know if I'd be alive today. If not for the Ninja Turtles, I wouldn't have gotten past difficult times in my home or at school. I was bullied. I always knew that I had friends in the Turtles. They really, because they were mutant and because they were teenagers and they were goofy, but they were friends and they were heroes and they were loyal. I just, people who, everybody's got something, okay? Nobody is 100% perfect. You're not the smartest kid, the most handsome kid, the strongest kid, the most popular kid. Everybody's got a chink in their armor, some more than others. And so Ninja Turtles, I think, really spoke to a lot of people and had a profound effect. Even April had a profound effect, you know. Most of the girls had older brothers who were watching Ninja Turtles, so they watched, and they found inspiration from April that they didn't have to, they weren't just some girl, that they could aspire to be somebody, something. They could do something beyond what they were expected to do. And I've spoken to a lot of young women who've been in the military, the Air Force, the Navy, and they've all said April O'Neil was the character that inspired them, that they could do something that was different than what they ever thought they could. So that's, how can you, I mean, how, you know, certainly Strawberry Shortcake never did that, and the Glow Friends never did that, and all the other little creatures and characters I did along the way, they never inspired people to be better or to go on beyond what they thought they could. So this was quite an amazing experience.
Yeah, I really love that story. And I always thought it was so great that, you know, April was sort of the first human character that was friends with the Turtles, and she never really freaked out that they were different. She just like
just in the first episode, it was a bit
yeah. But I mean, after that, yeah,
of course. A lot.
Yeah, but you know, it wasn't after that. Once she got to know them, it never came up again. You know, like as a problem. Yeah.
No. You know, a very accepting character. You know, never thought badly of any of them. Never looked at them sideways. Just accepted them for who they were. And that's, I think people related to that. You know, took them as they were, their faults and their strengths and their goofiness and all of that.
Was April O'Neil your first professional voice?
No, but she was my first human. Really? Yeah. Everybody, a flower or a fairy or I did play some humans on a couple. You know, I played a princess on Don Quixote and Sancho Panza. Panda.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But Yeah, she was the first, which is why she was very much like me, because you know, I didn't have to come up with a little creature voice. I kind of played me with a lot more energy.
Right. How did you even hear about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Like, was it an audition? Was it a recommendation? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I'd never heard of it before. And I don't think the guys had ever heard of it before. I know they talk about how when they had heard about the audition, they looked into it. Now, there wasn't any internet back then. Oh my God! I mean, can you imagine? Like in the horse and buggy days. But nobody even knows what I'm talking about.
I do.
But yeah, there wasn't that opportunity to go you hear about something, go research it online. So I'd never heard of it before, and my agent called me and said, hey, there's this new cartoon show. I was auditioning for lots of things, called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we went, what do you, the wahoo?
Yeah, that sounds silly.
He said, just go, everybody in town's auditioning, and you are too. So I showed up. Every female voiceover actress that I knew was sitting in the waiting room waiting. They handed us a line drawing of April, and they gave us a little brief description of her, and we went in and auditioned. And Stu Rosen was the director, of course, and gave me some direction on how to pitch her and the kind of energy. And a few weeks later, I got a call that I had gotten the job. So I was very lucky.
And that's how when did you know, you were mentioning that, once you saw kids dressing up as, Ninja Turtles and April and everything, but even before that, when did you find out that the show was a hit?
Well, the first 5 episodes it was like an after school special. Mm-hmm. And those were, that was going to be it. That was the end, right? 5 episodes to sell some toys and done. So we were done, aired at Christmas time, and on April 7th, 1988, and I remember the date because I was actually in the hospital and had just given birth to my daughter.
Oh my gosh.
And my agent called and said, congratulations on the baby, and Ninja Turtles is going to series. It's like, wow, a baby in a series, that's nice. So we went into the studio not long after that and started recording, and we were just recording. Mm-hmm. It was fun. The guys are great. We recorded that first season, and they renewed us. And after about into the second season, we started getting rumblings about toys being sold out and the stock price of the company that was making the toys going up, and all the gear started appearing. So because it was our voice, we could go out in public and we could see this kind of turtle revolution that was going on. So funny. I was in New York working, and I thought, I'll go to this very famous toy store called Fao Schwartz. I don't know if you know.
I have.
It's out of business now, and probably for a good reason.
Right.
So I go into Fao Schwartz, looking for the Ninja Turtle section, right? It's like the best toy store in the whole world. And I can't find it. So I go to the store manager and I say, where's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff? He goes, oh, we'll never have that in here.
Oh, wow. The attitude.
Wow. So the next year I was back in New York working again, and I thought it was gotten really popular. So I go back to Fao Schwartz, and there was a huge section of Ninja Turtles, and that manager was gone.
That's hilarious.
People were frightened. You'd say, what are you working on? I was like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, what's that? The parents were scared about the title. They thought it was something evil or violent, or I remember in the beginning, people were like, oh, that sounds terrible. What's that? Yeah. And then, of course, they bought every action figure and every t-shirt under the sun.
Sure. I'm pretty sure I had the toys and the clothes and the VHS if you didn't have that, like, were you even alive? You know? Were
No,
you even?
no. Who did you play when you were playing with your other friends?
I liked Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Because I liked Blue.
Oh, okay.
But see, so the fun thing was I liked Blue, so of course I liked Leonardo, but then, but I liked pizza, so I also liked Michelangelo, and I liked playing video games, so I liked Donatello, and who didn't want to be a tough guy like Raphael? So, it's like you were saying earlier, each turtle's different. They all represented some characteristic that, you wanted to be, or, that you had. So it was fun to have all of them.
Yes.
Did you ever dress up as April during Halloween, like, ever?
No.
Really?
Wear yellow from time to time.
I had to ask. I was just curious.
But although I have a funny story. So when my daughter Ariel was, I think she was about 5 or 5, maybe 4 or 5. She had a birthday party with one of her classmates who was a little boy, and he wanted a Ninja Turtle party. Okay, so we had it at our house, and this guy, Michelangelo, shows up in a Ninja Turtle costume, and he somehow during the party, he finds out that I did the voice of April O'Neil, and he freaks out, and he's like, okay, everybody, sit down until I can think of something to do. So I realized he was freaking out. So I said, okay, everyone, how about we get out the parachute? All right, Michelangelo? It was, okay. And he gets out the parachute, we start the party back up again. It was very funny.
I'm sure he'll remember that forever. You voiced April O'Neil's long lost mother in an episode a few years ago. Was that kind of weird?
Oh, it was great. Of course, I'd like to have been April O'Neil, but she was, Meg Whitman was doing her. May Whitman was doing her, and
that's right.
as a 16-year-old, and so every time there was a new iteration of Ninja Turtles, we all hoped they would cast us. I mean, I may be biased. I'm very biased, but I think our cast was the best. I really do. I think they brought so much humor and life. And I remember watching the first movie, and I couldn't tell one turtle from the other in terms of the voicing. And it's the voicing, right? Yeah, the live action movie. The only way you could tell one turtle from the other is because of the color of their eye band. They all sounded alike, and so our guys really pulled these 2-dimensional characters off the page and made them 3D. And I just don't personally think anybody's ever come close to the camaraderie and the chemistry and the creativeness. But the Buried Secrets is the episode that I did for Nickelodeon, where I played April O'Neil's mother. So in that iteration, she's 16. April O'Neil's mother and father are gone, and nobody knows where they are. And so April O'Neil's mom, Mrs. O'Neil, shows up, and at first she seems fine and normal, and but then things seem strange, and they come to find out that she's a bot that the foot soldiers have brought in to kill the turtles. So obviously that's the end of that.
Right.
So it's too bad that she wasn't really April's mom, and I could have had a recurring part.
Sure.
But it was so much fun.
Yeah. I know, that must have been like a nice full circle moment a little bit, right? Like you were playing the mom all of a sudden. So yeah. Do you have like a ritual or routine that you do before you do any voice work? Do you do anything to kind of get into character?
Oh, definitely get into character. Because, you don't just show up and read a script. You have an entire history in your back pocket of who that character is. So when I got to know who April was, I wrote out her history. Where did she live? Where did she go to school? What were her aspirations? Who did she look up to? Did she have any, siblings? All of that. You create those the life of the character, the pre-life of the character, so that when you're walking in, it's a person. It's not just, you're just not, and you try and do that for all your characters. It's acting, you know.
Yeah.
You don't just read a line and go home. And she goes home with you too, you know.
That's right.
So,
if you weren't a famous voice actress, what do you think you would be doing?
well, I've been in show business since I was a little girl, since I was about 6 or 7 years old. There's nothing that I wanted to do other than be on stage or performing in some way or another. So, but that's an interesting question. You know, I love so many different things. I know a little bit about a lot of things. I always wanted to be an archaeologist, but I have long fingernails, so I didn't want to.
That's out.
I love medicine and I love science and I love all of these things, but being an actor, you can act all of those things. So yeah, there's really, I think as an actor, you have to really be pretty hard-headed and very confident in yourself, because you get many more no's than you get yeses. And each time they knock you down, you get up again and you just keep going. So what would I be doing if I wasn't being maybe I'd be an opera singer, or I'd be on Broadway, or producing or directing. I love that too. Something in the arts, something in this field.
So you don't have any pets at all?
No, not anymore. So I love animals, but I don't want to come home and take care of one.
Yep. But yeah, you just want to be able to pet them when they're not hungry, or
like grandchildren. You play with them and they send them home.
Exactly. Yep. You get your fix. Last couple questions.
Okay.
What is the first place you're going to visit once everything opens up and goes back to normal? What country would you want to go to? All of them. That is a great answer.
Love to travel. I had to rename my backyard Portugal because we were supposed to go there this summer.
Oh.
So we go to Portugal. Any
particular reason why that place?
Portugal, it just sounded beautiful. It was very interesting. I love history. I'm hoping to go to Costa Rica at Christmas time, but I don't know if that's going to happen. My passion is travel. So one of my many passions is travel. So I have to have at least one trip, if not two, planned, or I get depressed. So we'll see. I'll go anywhere right now.
Yeah,
I'll go to Bakersfield.
I'm not picky. It actually makes sense why you said that you would be an archaeologist, because archaeologists like to travel, right, to different places. So that
absolutely. I'm crazy about dinosaurs, and I'm crazy about ancient history. I go to Israel quite often. So one of the times I went on an archaeological dig in a place called Beit Guvrim, and it's underground like Indiana Jones. And you go underground and you dig and you get filthy, and it's just great. And if you find something that's great, they keep it. And they're so smart in Israel because they didn't have money to excavate, right? They don't have the money. So they get these silly tourists to come and dig. You pay.
Oh, yes.
You pay money to go dig. You find something great, they keep it. And on the way out, all those broken pottery shards, the things they can't use, they say, oh, this is 2,000-year-old pottery. And if you take it home and you glue it together, you can make it into this. So then they get all those people who paid to dig to take the garbage away.
It's the perfect business model.
How smart. I like it.
That's incredible. That's actually really clever. I'm actually thinking about that.
It's very smart.
How can I?
So smart.
Yeah. Gosh, that's like $1 million idea.
It's so great.
That's so.
Come dig for dinosaur bones. You find a T-Rex, it's ours.
Right. We put your name on a plaque. That's all you get.
Yeah. And then when you leave, someone else's name goes on the plaque.
Right. Last question, and I'll let you go. You mentioned that you have a charity. Do you want to mention that or talk about it for a little bit?
I do. So, there's so many good things to contribute, but I think that education is, for me, it's one of the most important ones. You give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You give a man a fishing pole and teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And that's what education is. I have been helping to raise scholarships for students at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. It's a major university. They call it the Harvard of the Middle East. People from all over the world come. They have everything from archaeology to agriculture and nanoscience and cancer research, and they're really doing a lot in terms of COVID research right now. So the money that's raised through the American Friends of the Hebrew University goes, for, if they give it in my name, goes directly to students of every race, religion, in order to help supplement their education. So, I hope I'm doing my part to help bring about peace in the Middle East through education and the world.
Yeah, that's really great. No, I'm trying to do my part to kind of bring a little more joy and happiness to everyone out there right now who don't have it by doing this, because I know a lot of people out there are fans of yours and of the Ninja Turtles. So thank you so much, Renae, for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time, and it was a real treat to get to speak with you today.
Me too. Thank you very much, and stay safe. And I want you to know that the turtle power is with you always.
I wasn't going to ask, but I'm really glad you said that. Okay. Thank you so much, Renae. I really appreciate you having here. Yep.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.